Hi, my name is Fawnde, otherwise known as Carson Melton. Or maybe I should say it the other way. It's kind of strange, don't you think? Me saying I'm Fawnde, otherwise known as my real name. You'd think I would say my real name, otherwise known as Fawnde, my online alias. Though I think usually I say it the other way. But today I naturally said it the other way, using my alias as if that is what I'm known by, and my real name as if that's the less common meaning of myself. Isn't that so weird? Think about that. I naturally used my online name. I don't know if you can hear that. It's thundering outside. I naturally used my online name over my real name, as if I take more pride or recognize that as myself more than who I am. Which is true. It's very much true. Before I go on, I should probably say it is 9:36 p.m. It is April 11th, 2022, and I should have been in bed, or I should have had all my stuff turned off 36 minutes ago, preparing for bed at 10, but screw me, I guess. Anyway, going back to that point, I didn't plan on talking about this, but it naturally just happened, so I suppose I should address it. It's very strange, don't you think, that I, and I'm sure a lot of other people, naturally, by complete accident, almost relate more to my online name than I do my actual name. If someone calls me Carson, I recognize it, but sometimes it feels weird. If someone calls me Fawnde or Fawnde, whichever you want to call me, I almost feel more natural hearing that. No, I don't want to say that's necessarily a problem. However, I do think for myself in my current case, that is a testament to the fact that I've been online too much versus in real life. Now, don't get me wrong, if my friends or someone in real life says my real name, I don't freak out or get taken aback like, oh, that is me. No, I don't do that. I hear my name and, oh, that's me, I just understand it. However, it's recognizable in my own addressing of myself whenever I call myself Fawnde over Carson, when I talk to myself in my head and I use my online alias, when I outwardly say that for the video diary and I accidentally use Fawnde first and then my real name, as if my real name is just extra. So I think that is a testament to my problem. And I think a lot of people would probably agree. I think more people know me as Fawnde, and like I'm sure other people online experience the same thing, but more people know me as Fawnde than they probably know me as Carson. More people know me online than people know me in real life, I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. Now, this is not the main point of this video. I just went off on a bit of a rant, I guess, realizing what I did. But that's such a weird thing to think about. I myself relate more to my online self than my real self, which is how much time I spent online. And I don't like that. I like the name Fawnde. I like that it's me. But, I think you should take more pride. Maybe not too much more, but I think you should have more pride, at least an equal amount of pride, in who you are online and who you are in real life. And I do think they should be a little bit separate. Not completely, but a little bit. But they should be equal, at least. At the very least, they should be equal. Now, as I said, this is not the main point I wanted to talk about today. But I guess we're getting started off on the right foot. Maybe. It's very, of course, you wouldn't understand this. I don't think. But right now it's very, very, very aesthetically pleasing in the sense of the environment. I look behind me. I have nice warm lights. I'm sitting here talking to a camera to do a video diary. I look out my window. I can't see if the blinds are closed, but I see flashing lights of lightning flashing nearby. I hear thunder. I can hear the pouring rain. Now, can any of you hear this? Probably not. Nor can you experience it because only I'm here. Now, That's one of the biggest wishes I've ever had in my life. I wish I could let others see through my eyes, think through my brain, if only for a few moments. Because images, words, reaccounting, anything can never really encapsulate what an individual feels in a given moment. Like none of you will ever understand what I'm feeling right now. And I hardly feel it. See, I hardly understand it either. But that's the thing. You don't have to understand to feel something. I feel it, but if I try to think about what I'm feeling and put it into words, it instantly becomes less, almost. And experience is just something to feel. It's not something you have to understand, you know? So that's why once you try and put something that you just feel into words and you try to understand it, it becomes diluted. And it's also not what I want to talk about, but I saw lightning. I got distracted. Anyway, probably to the main point about all this. I got distracted. I have a big fucking forehead. Oh my god. Look at this. Oh my god. I have a lot of hair, which is not. This is all nice. Okay, this is very nice. And then boom. Goodness. Here, maybe one more tangent. Okay. The only time people have called me, stuff about my forehead before, and I don't mind it, but there's only ever been one time that I've truly been caught off guard by a forehead joke. It wasn't an insult. It was a joke. Sometimes people do try and insult me, but they're usually jokes. But one time, a few years ago, when I was still working at Burger King as a manager, we got a new manager. She'd been there probably for about a few months, maybe even a year, and we just had a professional relationship. Then one day I went to the office talking to her about something. I was I asked a lot of questions, trying to figure things out. I was asking questions about something, trying to get verification. I don't know. I didn't answer. Blah blah blah. I turn and I leave the office. As I'm leaving, I hear my manager. Her name was Carol. I say something. I say like, "Oh, thank you very much for helping me." Whatever. Blah blah blah. I leave, and then I hear her say, "Okay, forehead." My boss called me forehead, just out of nowhere, and we don't, just out of nowhere. And I was so taken aback. I stopped walking. I did like a 180 heel turn, walked back into the office, stuck my head around the corner and said, "Did you just call me forehead?" She just laughed. This is how I wore my hair when I was working. I'd have, you didn't have to wear hats as a manager, so I wouldn't wear a hat. I would just, have my hair tied up like this. I don't know. That's something that's probably going to stick with me for the rest of my life. The timing was just immaculate. It was crazy. Truly. It was. Before I get more and more distracted, I don't really have a main point that I want to talk about, but I have something I would like to cover. For today, I uploaded video diary on the 8th. Today is currently the 11th. That means I've had 2 days without a video diary upload. For the reason is I've been in Atlanta, or I was driving back. And, by the time I got home, blah, 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 whatever. By the time I left, I didn't have the time for it. I didn't have the time. I could have made a video on my camera, because I brought my camera. I got a lot of nice pictures as well. So I could have, but, whenever you're hanging out with someone, just chilling out, having a small vacation, you don't really think about doing, this stuff. Not that this feels like a chore, but this is more along the lines of almost a work than is like a pursuit for pleasure. All of this video diary stuff is a means to an end. It's a means to me, helping myself, no longer hiding behind the curtains of whatever, So this is more along the lines of work and effort than just thinking about it casually and be like, oh, hey, I should do that, Same with writing in my journal. I haven't written in my journal in quite a few days. I brought it along, but I've never written it. I won't write in it tonight either because I won't have the time, which is unfortunate. Even though, it's really weird though, even though this this sorry, I got my tingle. I just like playing with this thing. Even though this is a pursuit to not hide things, it really sucks sometimes. Because there are in my written journal, I can write whatever I want. I can write anything I want. Um, not everyone sees it. You know, I'm, however, with the video diary, even though I like doing video diaries more because I can just talk. I don't have to spend. They're a lot shorter. I don't have to spend however long writing and thinking and making sure everything's nice. But the thing with video diaries is, since I upload them, which is good for me not hiding behind things, there are some things I can't mention. Sometimes. Sometimes I can't bring up certain things about certain people. I can't bring up things about myself. I can't bring, I can, but there are, there are social lines not to cross. There are things I can't say about others. Like, for example, someone might tell me a secret. And in my journal, I can write about it, and put my feelings, but I can't talk about that online where people I know, them included maybe, whoever I'm wanting to talk about, if someone did tell me a secret, they could see it. Everyone could see it. So there are a lot of limitations. And sometimes, sometimes I feel those limitations. There have been things I wanted to talk about before that I just can't talk about here. It's like I want to tell people, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of risk involved. I think you understand what I'm saying, Even though these videos are for me to talk about things, as a person, I still can't sometimes. Sometimes it's there's a certain level of courtesy I must keep up. However, that being said, thankfully that doesn't limit me in many ways, because I do both this and a written journal, so I can get whatever off my chest, and I do enjoy doing this a lot. But as I said earlier, getting back to topic, I for the last few days I spent my time in Atlanta with my friend. Atlanta, Georgia. In case for some reason you don't know what Atlanta I'm talking about, let me tell you, a very nice city. The drive, so I'm about 5 hours away from Atlanta. I ended up waking up and leaving. I left about 5. I was on the road about 5. And I was driving. It's like a 5-hour drive, as I said. The drive there wasn't bad. I really like highway driving. I'm not a big fan of driving on the interstate. Sorry, in cities. But on the interstate, I love it because it's almost mindless. All you gotta do is drive straight, stay in your lane. If you see someone slowing down, you slow down. Keep up with speed. It's very simple. Now it's very dangerous. Don't get me wrong. It's much more dangerous, I think. But I think it's more enjoyable for sure. I can just drive for hours. And people kept warning me that Atlanta would be really, really bad. But it wasn't that bad. It was pretty normal, I think. How should I put it? Traffic is bad. Okay, getting into a traffic jam is pretty bad. But it's not hard. It's just slowing down. Now, it would be difficult if I had to merge all the way across during a traffic jam. At least it wouldn't be impossible. It'd be pretty difficult if I had to do it fast. But thankfully I didn't have to. So Atlanta, there was I had like 40 minutes to up to an hour of delay. That's going into Atlanta, and even when I was leaving Atlanta, I think when I left Atlanta, I had 2 or 3 different traffic jams. It's crazy. But it's not very hard to drive. However, I will say, I don't know if this is a testament to the drivers of Atlanta or the people, or just because of the population density, so you see more of it. But I saw 5 fucking accidents. I saw so many people pulled over. There is so much nonsense in driving in Atlanta. I'm just oh my God, it's crazy. And, and it's just why? To me, I haven't seen an accident in a year living in a small town. I go to Atlanta, I see 20 people pulled over. I see accidents on the interstate all over the place. I see accidents. I literally have a picture of a car crash that happened in an intersection in front of us. Literally a few cars in front of us, there was an accident. It was just what is this? Though to be honest, though driving on the interstate wasn't bad, I'm very thankful that that my friend drove in the city. I would, I wouldn't. As I said, I enjoy highway driving, but I would not have liked to have driven in the city, especially with like all the parallel parking, going to parking garages, the the figuring out where I'm going. It would not have been fun. Plus, if I was driving, I think he said that he likes it when people are in the car, but I'm the opposite. I'm a solo driver. I hate when I'm driving with other people in the car. I get super distracted, and like I think my PTSD every time, like almost every time I've had people in the car with me when I'm driving, there's almost always either been an accident or almost an accident. You know, so it's just like it's not for me. It's just not for me. But no, it was a very nice trip. The most unfortunate part to me about all of Atlanta is that it was really nice. Like it was really, really, really sunny. There was no clouds. It wasn't cloudy at all. And I came back home last night, and I spent it mostly today, just last night. Why did I do that in a second? Well, mostly experienced that today, where I got home. I was like, I want to go outside and do stuff. Then I look outside. It's cloudy. It's cold and windy, and it's raining. It goes. It's just like this is awful. It's like such a mood killer. It, I just came home to this. No, thank you. you know. Though I was really happy to be at home. I'm like I've always been this way when I've traveled on vacations, but I usually enjoy it for about a day, and then the next day it's just like I have to go do stuff. God, I don't want to do anything. To me, I I I have a very strong 1 day time frame, and then after that 1 day, it's just like I'm no longer interested. I just want to do normal stuff. That happened this time, and I think it's happened just about every time I've went somewhere. Happens all the time to me. I think there's a certain reason for it. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, I get tired. I just get exhausted of everything. I'm not a very social person. As I think my grandmother told me once, I'm more of a homebody. I enjoy going out and doing stuff, but I don't enjoy going on vacation and just doing things to do them. I'd like to go just sit in the city and watch people and just hang out. Walk around or something. I don't want to do anything. At least after the first day, and it might change. Like a few days later, I might want to do stuff again, but it's just so tiring. Um, I think there's another part. This is something that happened yesterday, which was the second day of Atlanta, and it happens sometimes. But whenever I go to like a city or on vacation, I end up taking a lot of stuff in. Like I just start looking around, and I love it. I love looking at stuff. I love looking at stuff, watching people, and just sitting there, relaxing and doing like nothing. But the problem is, every time I do that, and it's something I can't really help, it's not. I don't want this to sound like it's a problem. It's just something that naturally happens. Whenever I don't like do stuff like that, I start disassociating, and not in like the sense of like where I don't want to be there. It's not like I don't enjoy this, I don't want to be here, and now I'm disassociating. It's the opposite. In those cases, it's like I'm here. There's a lot of stuff, and I'm just like imagining and taking everything in. I'm now disassociating because like my brain is all over the place. Like that's an amazing freaking building. I wonder and I start thinking like, I wonder what kind of stuff would happen. I wonder how they clean the windows. I wonder if blah blah blah. Why is that car's lights on? That's a nice car. Hey, look, there goes someone. And I'll just like start imagining all this stuff. And I'll just, it's like I become zoint. I like zone out. I'm like, whoa. I just start totally disassociating from like reality and just imagining all this stuff. And that happened a little bit. Actually happened a decent amount the second day, which, in a weird way, I feel a little bit bad about. Because I think, okay, the reason I feel even remotely bad is, I don't think it's a problem. But the thing is, since that was the first time we met up, I think I've warned everyone before, but like the online me versus real life me is a lot different. The real life me is the type who just likes to sit around and just watch things. I don't have much to say. And the reason I feel bad is just whenever I get in a state like that where I'm just like zoned out, just watching everything and enjoying life, and just even though I'm having a good time, I don't like talking to people in that state. It like almost hurts because I'm like so in between wanting to be in reality versus like my imagination with everything that's going on, that it hurts to have to like ground myself to talk to people. So usually whenever someone says something, my answers are very short, like yeah, I don't know, maybe, no, sure, I mean, I don't have no preference. My answers are always like super, they lead to nothing. So it probably feels to people that it's like I'm just not interested. But it's not that I'm like not interested. It's just I'm unintentionally so zoned out of my own like space that I'm just not there. And as I said, it kind of hurts to try and talk. Like, not that it hurts, but like if I'm not prepared to like be grounded again, it's just like wow. This is like it's almost like when you're trying to sleep and someone keeps waking you up to talk to you, and you're just like, please just let me freaking sleep. It's kind of like that feeling where you're just like, oh God, can you guys stop being loud? It's basically like that, which I think that can come off as bothersome quite a bit, but that's what I'm talking about. I don't apologize for it, and if someone brought it up, I would say something, but like, it is what it is. It's just who I am, part of who I am. I just look around and I enjoy stuff. I stop wanting to talk. I start imagining things. I start watching people. That's how it is. Oh, but there was a lot of fun the first day. Oh God. Talk about the food. I felt so bad eating all that delicious food, spending all that money on that food, eating all the food. Actually rough. It was really good, but like when I thought about like trying to eat healthier and like watching how much I eat, I was like, oh God, there that goes. It was nice to splurge out though a little bit, but it's not nice that I splurged out literally in the first week of me trying to fix myself. So, that's a give or take, I guess. But no, I gotta say I like being in cities because there's just so much to look at. There's just so much to take in, so much to see. And it was just really nice. Now it was a little bit strange at first. I've known Ham for like 2 years now online, give or take. I don't know. Definitely 2 years at least, but I don't know. It might be closer to 3 years. I'm not sure. Which is crazy to think about. But I think we've only ever known each other online. Of course, we know each other look like, how each other sound, blah blah blah, whatever. But like we've never met in real life, so it's kind of that weird sense of when you first meet up, like wow, this is kind of strange, Not that it lasts for long, but like it eventually goes away once you start talking and stuff. But it was really nice to finally get to meet someone. He's actually the first person I've ever met in real life from the internet. Now I think about it, he is actually the first person I've ever met in real life, which is kind of like surprising. You don't really think about it, but it's really nice. I want to do that more. I want to meet more people in real life. It'd be nice and fun. But it was very nice. It's so weird for me to think about. It's so weird to think about it, like how from one day you're just in your house, the next day in your city, and you drive like 10 hours, then you're back. It's so weird to think how everything happens. Like everything, I don't know if this happens for everyone or if it's like more of a me thing, but like everything in my head just blends together. Like it all just becomes one big mush. Like it's just like, huh. And then it makes like it's really hard for me to make a timeline of events, usually, without, at least when I don't like really sit down and think about it. Because everything just blends together. Just like, wow. This is all like one and the same. It's kind of surreal almost. It's almost like I'm in a walking dream sometimes. Like, I can't believe this stuff happened, and out of nowhere too. Though I really enjoyed it. I think I'm going to take a book out of, what was that movie that Jim Carrey was in? Jim Carrey and I think it was just called Yes Man, where he says yes to everything. I think it's based on a true story too. I think I'm gonna start being like that. I think I'm gonna start saying yes to more things. Well, I think I'm just gonna start saying yes in general. Stop saying no. For example, my friend, his name's V. V has asked me to join a song, like be featured on the song he's trying to produce. I don't think I have really any talent in music. But you know what? I shouldn't let anxiety stop me, so sure. I've said sure. So now I'm gonna join and be part of a song. For what reason? Because I can. That's all there is to it. Oh, that's something else that happened. So I was just trying to rethink what happened. We were in, so we only had the hotel for one night, okay? We were in the hotel. It was late at night. And I still think it's so funny that this happened. This is another reason that Atlanta is so weird to me. Like, there's so much, like, crazy shit that happens and, like, just crime. But we were in the hotel room. The hotel is literally center of, like, the hotel district is literally that center downtown Atlanta. And so it's like the big skyscraper kind of hotels. We're on, like, the 12th floor looking out our window. Or he's looking out the window. And he sees a car. We don't know how it got there, but it was like facing the wrong lane of traffic, and there's a cop with his lights on. Then he sees the man get out of the car and start running on foot from a cop, and so now it's a foot chase. And he goes around the corner. He tells me this, so I come over there and look, and like we're talking, just like I can't believe that happened. And 5 minutes later, we're like, I wonder if we got him. And we see this guy walking back, doing the shame walk. The shame walk, whenever a criminal runs and like they get caught and they have their head down and they're like all slumped over, like, oh, I'm so sad I got caught. I will never understand. Maybe the officer was really fast, but I will never understand why people run on foot if they don't think they can get away. Like, why are you going to run on foot if you're just going to get caught? If you're about to run, it's a life or death, more or less. How are you not about to, like, super, adrenaline run for your life, and end up getting caught like 3 minutes later down the street? I don't know. I just thought it was crazy. It's, for those reasons, and like the crash, like there on that one intersection, there's a police chase. On the other intersection, there was literally a crash we drove by. It's just like, all this stuff is just happening around you. It's like so surreal to think about. It really is. It is very, very weird to think about. I don't know. I'm like sitting here trying to think about it, but I literally cannot wrap my head around it. I don't know though. Atlanta was. I also remembered whenever the second day when we were leaving, we drove past the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and I finally realized I have actually been to Atlanta before on a family vacation. I just could not. I thought I had been, but I just could not remember. But no, I had most definitely been in Atlanta before. I think it was only for like a day though, a day or two. It was a nice city. I don't know what else to say about it. It was a really good time. I had a lot of fun. It's very nice. Here's the fun part, okay? Here's the fun part. I don't think he'll care me saying. I think if I'm fine to say it, he probably wouldn't mind. But let me tell you, I've known Ham for a long time. About 3 years now, 2.5 years, 3 years. And for a long while, there's been this, there's a running joke of, Ham has this crush on me or whatever, and blah, 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 which I think is, it really is a running joke. But it was really funny, us meeting up, and we just talked, hanged out. And, late night, I don't know why, late night though, I just could not stop thinking about, that entire situation, I'm not, let me put it like this. I'm not someone who, I think this is funny, I'm going to say this. I'm someone who easily falls in love, but at the same time, I'm not someone who easily falls in love. So I think there's a certain line where I'm trying to figure out. What way should I put it? I think a fine line where I'm trying to figure out how much I should test in terms of, like, if someone likes me, test if I might like them back. Because usually for me, it's I'll like someone and they won't like me back, and someone might like me and I'll have like no care at all for them. Not as a person, I care about them, but not in the sense of like I'm not attracted to you. So I was there, where it's middle of the night. It was probably like 11 at night. I don't know, somewhere. It was getting late. And we're just in the hotel room. I just could not get it out of my head. I was like, so this guy, there's been this going on jokish thing about him liking me this entire time. And now suddenly we're here together, alone, in the hotel room. And don't get me wrong, this definitely plays a part to it. He is a very, very, very attractive guy. Very attractive. So you know what? I said, I was thinking about it, and I said screw it. So I, on that night, I gave Ham what he wanted. Okay. We didn't have sex or anything, alright? But we did kiss. It was very nice. I'll say that much. It's like Katy Perry? I kissed a girl and I liked it. Same thing. Except I kissed a guy and I liked it. Very nice. I'm not ashamed to say that. I think it's funny though, because I know some of my family, watches my YouTube channel. I know that they watch some of my video diaries. So I think it's pretty funny. I put in conversation for them, to hear this right now. I don't care about if any of my friends online, know this. But I think it's pretty funny whenever I know my mother watches some of my videos. Whenever she hears this, and it's gonna eventually come up. I think that's really interesting. But no, I don't. I should also go on to say more. While I did that, it's a strange situation where I don't know if it's because I'm asexual or just because I have such like strict parameters to who I end up having feelings for. Because in that situation, it's been going on for so long. I was like, fuck it, you know what? I'll just kiss him. And it was nice. It was very much so. It was nice. But at the same time, I don't know if that's made me more interested in him or not. I don't think it just had the reverse effect at all. But I can't tell if that has increased the idea, like the potential idea of, something, or if it's just the same, I will say, I think it was mostly, it's platonic. It wasn't like, it's not like I was trying to really achieve anything, There's definitely more of a platonic thing. But, those, as I was saying earlier, it's me trying to test the limitations of if I liked someone initially versus if I didn't, and like how to figure out, like, testing the waters, experimenting. But, it was most definitely nice. I enjoyed it. Would I do it again? Probably. Does that mean something more? Or was it just a kiss? Yeah, we just kissed, I think. For now, maybe we'll go into something else. I have no, that just is what it is. But, I figured I should say it out loud. In a weird sense, it's one of those things where it happened. And, like, I've thought about it afterwards. But at the same time, it's not like it's living rent-free in my head. It's not like it's just always popping up. It's one of those things that happened, and I've kind of just like, okay, it happened. It's not like something like crazy. It's not like if I was into someone and then like I kissed that person, I would have been like, oh my god, I can't believe. Like if I was in like, I had a super crush or something. I don't know. But I figured I should, say it out loud. Just once again, I don't want to hide anything. There are things I have to hide sometimes. But I think it's better to be apparent. In a weird sense, that is something that I would not because I wouldn't tell people, but because there wouldn't really be a situation to tell people, I think. And it'd be one of those things that ends up being like buried down somewhere and might eventually lead to hiding things and burying things, and like it might come up and I would be like, should I say that or shouldn't I say that? So I'm starting out by getting off my chest, because as I said, one of the reasons I'm doing these video diaries is to not accidentally hide stuff, which will then become a tumor in my emotions or a tumor in my actions. So if you get things out of the way right away, you won't have to worry about them. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up as well. But I would say everything combined, it was a really good trip. I definitely want to meet more people from online. I think it's also affirmed the idea in my head that online does not compare at all to real life. Hanging out with someone in real life is like worth so much more than just talking to them online. You can't even compare it. You really can't. And it makes me realize even more how much more I want to get away from the internet and more into real life. Now, I would like to keep the same friends, but I would like to know them as a people. He made a really good statement that it was, the joke that, women aren't real, but he made the statement that they aren't real whenever he's never talked to them. Like, if he doesn't know them in real life, they're not real people. And I like that idea, but in general, in a weird sense, all my online friends who I've never met in real life are fake, almost. They're not real people, I don't have anything, I don't want to say we don't have a real connection because it's they're online, but we don't have a physical connection, And I think without a physical connection, there's something major missing. So I think the entire trip greatly reaffirmed my idea that I need to get away from the internet. I need to get more in tune with reality and real life. And hopefully I'll be able to make plans and meet more people online. I don't know though, but we'll see how it goes. I have a lot to fix. My schedule has been ruined because of all this. Not that I don't regret it, but I need to get my shit together. It's already 12 minutes past my bedtime. So I think I'm going to sign off and go to bed. Thank you very much for watching my video diary. I should have one tomorrow. If I don't know why I wouldn't, but I should. I am going to go to bed now, and because I need to be waking up by 6 o'clock. I'm making a hard schedule to wake up at 6 o'clock every day. So I'm going to take care of that. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you later, I guess. Goodbye.